Hi guys, I don't know how long I've got because Shiloh's actually been asleep for quite a while, and Elijah, I bet he's tired and hasn't actually gone to sleep, and I'm trying to get back or flip into a new routine with Elijah and Shiloh on whether or not they have sleeps in the day. So I'm trying to get structure in my lives and what I'm coming on to talk about with my lives and things like that, because we just had a chat, and a few of us, obviously XR, are in Portsmouth City at the moment, and Southampton, and there's lots of different pockets going on all the way around the UK and worldwide. But it's Friday, and it's Future Fridays, and it's all thinking about moving forward in a new direction for the future. Funny enough, that Dean has been playing and bouncing around the house with the kids to Dean. Oh, no, he's gone to give me some space to do my life. He's been bouncing around with things can only get better, and he's like, that's it, I'm going into London and I'm going to absolutely just pound this song out until it just drums into people's heads that things can only get better. So they can't get worse, can they? Well, actually, shouldn't say that really, because they can. So I'm just restructuring. Sorry about the light and things at the moment. It's actually quite nice out there at the moment. Dry, grim, but the weather, obviously, here we are still in winter here in the UK. So, but down in Portsmouth, it is absolutely fucking windy. It's mental as hell on how windy it is. So Elijah and Shiloh don't actually want to go out. I took them out on their roller skates before Shiloh went for his sleep. So I'm just catching up. So I've just been catching up with Boris Johnson and the restructure of the committees and councils. And obviously part of what I'm about is a vote of no confidence and a restructure to abolish parties and to actually bring in full term positions, because the problem with Parliament is they restructure every 4 years, just like they do in school. So the problem with this system is it is a systematic education system that goes from nursery to primary school to it's not infants, is it? It's primary into high school, or what are called academies now, and then obviously into college, and then into university, and then they are placed into positions within the structures, be it the NHS, social care, policing, policy, banking, legal. So there are only so many positions that govern the UK or govern the structures of the world, and that's things like housing, education, medical, transportation, all of the lights and things like that. And then of course you've got the cleaning of the country. So like I always say, I don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning to have to go and clean the streets from all of the people who've been out, all the students or people who've been out and got pissed on a fucking Saturday night and vomited all over the place and trashed the place. And somebody's got to get up on Sunday morning and go and clean the streets so we can go into town and it not look like a fucking shit tip. And that's pretty much what government is. It is just the people that oversee the policy makers and the policing and the governing of the same people. So we have an opportunity to have a voice, and it is about raising our voices. It is about recognizing the responsibilities and duties that we have as individuals, which goes back to commandments that thou shalt not hurt, thou shalt not kill, blah, 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 and all those things. Natural laws of the universe, that we should be able to live in peace and harmony and prosperity and love and go about our ways, traveling across land, seas and cities, and being able to put roots down and build a home and a family and graze our land. And we have a right to do that, but not to harm other people. Now, in the Western world here in the UK, I can't talk for Eastern, Northern stuff because I've never lived like a polar bear in an igloo. I'd love to. I'd love to go and experience the Northern Lights. That's a bucket list dream of mine, to take my children to the Northern Lights and go and stay in an igloo. And maybe once I do that, maybe I could understand even us here in a different point of view, and prepare for the winter better. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, I'm going to be like this now all the way through until I'm Stepping Up for Britain turns up, and I will have on probably Coach on the front or on the back or something, or I'll have my own stuff, and then every person who is part of Step Up Britain will have, it's not just, there will be tops that people can just buy, but this is for the team that are obviously going to be going out onto the streets, and we're teaming up to go in and basically kick the ass out of people who are fucking children. I just need some nice size 6 boots. Do you want to see how bad things are? You all think I'm this person when I ask for money and stuff. Shall I show you something? Shall I just show you my trainers in a minute? What's in this? I've got my trainers getting held together by fucking elastic bands because of all of this. And this is all glued down. And these are completely fucked. And if anybody knows anything about these trainers, and you will know when these trainers were bought, and if you've been following me. Are you talking to me, sweetheart? No, I'm talking to Daddy. Oh, okay. I think he's in the bathroom, I think. No. He might be in the bedroom on his phone. Getting his team ready. So, yeah, so if anybody knows the story behind these trainers, these were Nike trainers, you will know that when I arrived at Save the Family, I didn't actually have any like real shoes and stuff, because once we got evicted from the interim place, I'd literally gone to, you know, those places where you go and wear your clothes and literally just throw them in. I was so gutted. £190 fucking Armani dress in there that must have only weighed a few fucking pence. But I had like no phone, no way of selling online. FreeCycle wasn't something that I was aware of at this time. Gumtree wasn't something I was aware of. So basically these trainers, after Aaron and Faith were taken, I told you, didn't I, on Mother's Day, I went over and spoke to somebody and sort of said, look, you've got a lot of grieving mothers on here. We've got somebody whose baby's died. And I stood my ground that day because they were moving her from the home where she was meant to be raising her child and putting her in the flats. And I said, you can't do that. You can't make somebody who's just had a stillborn birth pack up all of the stuff for their baby and put it into a place that they haven't got room for it. You can't ask her to do that on Mother's Day. That's just completely insensitive. And I was already quite narky at this particular point anyway, because obviously they'd taken my kids off of me and I wanted to celebrate Mother's Day. So anyway, I'd gone over to speak to one of the women over there. She was actually a foster carer, and I went to talk to her. I had a bit of a relationship. I felt that I could talk to her about what was going on. And I was sat in the room and I said, what is this? Fuck the children. This isn't Save the Family. This is fuck the family. And the chef walked in, big fat fucking motherfucking bitch. I wanted to stab her, right? And she came in and she went, I'm not against fat people, but yeah, get personal with people like this. And she came in, you can't be speaking like this. I said, excuse me. And I was like nearing tears. I was like, how am I going to cope with Mother's Day? And my 2 children have gone and my son's over there broken. Daniel's not on site because, you know, he's coming up later. That was when Daniel gave me my Surrounded by Love little figurine for Mother's Day. And Graham brought him up to see me. So, it was the last payment of benefits. I was on tax credits at the time, and because Aaron and Faith were taken, first thing they took was the child benefit. And then obviously, because I was in a rental with a 3-bedroom at Save the Family, straight away from there, they then cancelled the children's room at the thing. So I was then liable for covering a 3-bedroom, and I'd had my housing benefit cancelled, and we were subcharged as well because it was supported living, because it was called Save the Family. So they were getting something like £1,000, 70, about £1,700 for each of us a week. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on at Save the Family. So anyway, when I was evicted from Save the Family after they got the orders to place my children, who were already in foster care and had already been to 3 placements just in the time that we were in court, potentially abused by one of them. So on the day of the eviction, as people know, one of my friends who was part of my social media marketing, as was Jason, turned up to give me a hand and just took, a couple of bags and said, look, we'll come back for the rest, and me and Liam, and took me to his. But I couldn't stay there when his kids were there at the weekend. And from that, Walk for Justice was created. And literally, with my last ever income coming in at that particular point, which was my final payment, and all benefits had completely stopped, I went into Sports Centre and I bought these trainers, and I bought all my night kit, and I started just running. And that's when Walk for Justice was created, because when that chef, I wanted to kill her. When she came in, I wanted to kill her. I wanted to hurt somebody. And when I used to wake up every morning after Aaron and Faith were taken, I used to get this real that used to come up in me, and I can feel it now because it's still in there. It's still there, festering me. It's still there, and it's not good because it's me that it poisons, not them. They wake up every day without this feeling. I wake up every day having to control and manage this feeling. I'm having quite an in-depth conversation with Dean today on if this has to come to a riot, and how you don't cross the lines into thou shalt not kill, how you control that level of anger when you're standing up for something so severe that's going on in our country, and take away Aaron and Faith being taken, because the problem is much greater and bigger than what's happening to us. We're just a small drop in the ocean of this big giant fucking wave that's going on right now. But it's time for us to learn to surf, do you know what I mean? And rather than be down and depressed and miserable at the time of this complete fucking crisis, we've got to raise up in love and joy and peace and harmony and prosperity for all. And I don't mean in a hippy clappy way, I mean in a functional, structured way, by us thinking about the structures of the UK, and not just the UK, but coming right back to basics. We know it doesn't work for us in this family home. We know this has to go. End it. Yeah, end this fucking contract on this flat. End it. Just go over, sign it, and give the time and period that we have to give, and fucking find somewhere in that time, because otherwise you are just constantly hanging on. It's like being a trapeze artist, isn't it? And it's like having to go and cross, and you've got to make that leap of faith in the middle to grab the other bar. But if you don't fucking let go, then you're just going to keep fucking swinging there like a monkey until eventually your arms hurt and you have to let go, and you're going to have to get back up and start again, because ultimately you can't get to where you really need to be unless you just take that leap of faith. But I always remember in the film Labyrinth, when he was in tune and he didn't know how he was going to get across the other side, Mother Nature stepped in for him, and the stones arrived so he could cross over. And life's a little bit like that. It's like driving at night time, isn't it? And you've got your headlights on and you can't really see where you're going. You might have a sat nav in your car, which would be really cool, but you have to drive literally feet and feet and feet ahead as you are going from the destination, from A to B. And sometimes you do get in the car and just go for a drive and follow signposts or something like that, but ultimately you are looking for something that you're trying to create. You're looking for an experience that you're wanting to have. You're looking for something as you're driving to pull over and go, yes, I want to be here for a bit. But when you're sitting in just a flat like this, and the internet is pretty much all you've got, the internet isn't the way to establish life. It's not real. The internet is not real. Your relationship with me is not a real relationship, hence why he calls it a form and fake, because it's not the real interaction. Amber knows what it's like to come and sit in my house here. She knows that it's fucking not easy. She's been over when, well, not obviously with Shiloh here, but she came over all the way from Trinidad to greet, Elijah into the world. Nobody else fucking did, but she travelled over from Trinidad to meet Elijah and bring him into the world. So she's seen the environment that obviously that we're living in at the moment. I had a very interesting situation last night. We ran out and we didn't have any milk. Dean's been paid today, so the pressure is now off. So Dean is now leading the way until I'm paid. So we don't have to worry about little silly things now. It's for me, is it? Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, why is this for me? Oh, bless him. Let me just put me a little egg. Oh, there's something in it. What's inside it?
Oh, it's the camera.
I know. Oh, it's a... Oh, is this a ram or is this a sheep? What's the difference between a ram and a sheep?
Oh no, it's
So
in the camera. Look.
And we have we got a ram or a sheep, Elijah? You choose.
It's big. It's bigger and old.
What do you choose? What is this? A ram or a sheep?
Sheep.
A sheep. Do you want to come say hello for a minute?
I can see it.
What is it? A ram or a sheep?
I can't see it.
Oh, come and sit on my lap a minute. You just not got your jeans on, so stay on with the camera. There you go. What present did you bring me? I know it's a bit dark in here. I've not actually put the light on. Shall I put the light on a bit?
Yeah.
Shall we put the light on? Oh, hang on, my seat. Watch this. My seat has to... Oh no, I've just broke the piano chair using it as a stool to get up. Ready? Go down. There you go. You can slightly, it might be a bit too bright if I do that. Can you see yourself now? No, we're still dark, aren't we? That's because we're in a flat. There you go. Say hello.
Oh no, you can't see the sheep.
So it's a sheep. Okay.
Hey, you check the camera.
The camera is right there.
It's in the camera.
It's the camera.
Mom, it's in the camera.
It's not about the camera. It's about who's watching you. Who do you think's watching you?
Shiloh's.
Where's Shiloh?
Where's this?
I love hearts. They're saying that they love seeing you. Look, and they're laughing. That's Claire. Claire's smiling and laughing, saying hello. I have a feeling that this is the Claire that I've been trying to connect the dots on who sends you the birthday cards and things. I have a feeling it's the same Claire, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, it is. So this is the Claire who sends you birthday cards and Christmas cards. You say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she sends you.
You
can go and get little bits of blessings.
Right
so your sweeties.
Right to this camera.
Yeah.
Right to the camera.
Say thank you. Say thank you, Claire, for my birthday card.
Thank you for my birthday card.
My Christmas card.
She's looking.
So Elijah's brought me a gift. It's a sheep. So the theory is wolves in sheep clothing.
See it?
And
Just pull it
black sheep and sheep.
Oops.
I don't really want to be a sheep because sheep really vulnerable, but I don't want to be a wolf either because I don't want a savage sheep, and I don't want to be somebody that needs to have a shepherd to keep me in line and with a crop and stick if I go astray. So I don't really get this analogy. It doesn't really quite sit with me properly. And obviously it's a metaphor because we're not wolves and we're not sheep, we're human beings and we're not humanoids either, so we don't need to live through a computer. There is a real world out there, so anyone in Portsmouth, I think XR, I might see XR sort of coming through soon. So everyone, all the students going home and stuff, they'll all pass through here. Some of them wave, some of them say hello. Haven't been over, Dean was going to go over and say hello, but we need to keep the focus on the end result. So hopefully, as I've always said, you'll see me when the rig comes on, when the boys are on site with me, and the police are covered, so to say. So they are not a threat to me in any way, shape or form. They can't come anywhere near me, and boys, and I don't have to feel intimidated or threatened by them coming anywhere near me in any way, shape or form.
I brought my egg.
Only because these two are too young, and what worries me more is going out there and leaving Elijah and Shiloh with somebody and somebody coming for Elijah and Shiloh while I'm not there, because I know I'll protect my kids. And if Dad's there, then hence why he's at home at the moment. Doesn't matter how much we argue, how much we battle, he is not abandoning us right now. So he is here to stay and make sure that these social workers and police stay away from the young boys.
Hey!
Which I think has been made very clear to them how he feels about this. I think even the police are aware how he feels about this.
Here comes the submarine!
I think nobody wants to go to the next level if they continue
Here comes the
to prat around with these two wonderful little boys. Unfortunately, though, I stand for something I believe in, and the only way I can be a mum to these little rugrats is to be who I am, and for them to grow up knowing their mother for who she is, and not just mum who washes up, dad cooks, and they learn, even that's by proxy, they learn that dad cooks actually, not mum, because dad actually cooks, not mum. Not that I can't cook, it's just that he loves cooking, so, you know, and if that's his way for, you know, providing for his family, then that's providing for his family. But in the bigger picture of everything, one world order, gender 21, depopulation, then I'm not willing to be a sitting duck, you know, or a sheep that needs to be herded in, or a rhino that needs to go and cause devastation, because I'm not an animal.
What is this?
And unfortunately, these are all the loves and hearts, darling. Unfortunately, psychology for years has been assessed on animals and not people. Because not many people come forward and talk openly and honestly. I know, you're watching all the hearts and the love. It's Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day Cupid is actually a demon, and it's actually a pagan thing. I'm trying to deal with my issues with these man-made holidays where you feel abandoned, rejected on birthdays and Christmases and holidays because you have some form of expectation of some form of idealism of how you're going to wake up in the morning, how your day is going to go, and every time, every step this doesn't happen, it just brings disappointment and depression and even suicide. People have felt alone on Christmases, birthdays, holidays. People have not been with children, family members, and it's led to suicide because loneliness is the real disease that we have in society. Feeling alone and isolated and separated from oneself, separated from family, separated from friends, separated from community, and also separated from your service and what you're here to actually do. I was making a point the other day that if we all didn't have jobs, our brains would go crazy. Not on camera, darling. If we didn't keep our brains going, we would ultimately die because our brains are the only machine that we really have. The only thing that doesn't have collagen is the brainwave to absolutely everything. It is the link. Hence why I keep the cat on quite a lot, because when I take my hat off, I get headaches because all of a sudden I've got the lights, I've got the laptop, I've got obviously there's no tin foil under here, guys, but I might do. And I'm quite happy to stick some tin foil under here because I've got Dean's phone. I don't have a phone, and it's great.
Broken.
But I've got electrics. I've got all the wires and everything out here. Cameras, the lot. The egg is broken. Well, Valentine's Day actually is about.
The egg is broken.
The egg. It's I can't think who the Dean. He's got his headphones on. I can't remember who the was, but it was about making everybody rabbits and create children. It was the day that everybody was allowed to go home and have sex with their wives, so we could breed children, basically. Go home, be nice to your wife, take them some flowers, create a child. You know, because you don't have time to have sex any other time. You've got bills to pay, do you know what I mean? And children to look after. You want some knitting. So anyway, I came on to talk about catching up with obviously Boris Johnson, the restructure. So it's up to you guys now. So please, 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 if you're affected by the family court, get your evidence in ASAP. The deadline's going to be, I think it's the 3rd of March. And also, Amber, I urge you, every deadline that I have in order because I'm drowning here, not knowing when articles have got to be written by, when things have got to be done. And if I miss this EDS thing,
Hey, move out the way.
I won't get a chance like this again for another year. Do you know what I mean? So I really need all of these deadlines in place. Not on camera. And Mummy's not dressed properly for the You can go and sit down, but Shiloh will be awake in a minute. You're not going to sleep at necessarily this time, maybe. Alright, anyway, guys, I'm going to go and lay down the light.
Bye-bye. You say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What would you say to everybody on a day of love? What does love mean before you go?
Bye.
Spread the love.
Bye.
What love? Say, what does love mean?
Look, where's this?
That's Claire. That's Claire putting lots of hearts on for you.
That's not a good job.
It's a good job, is it? See, we like to see all these hearts. This is why we like Crackbook over Twitter. Not over Twitter, over YouTube, because YouTube you don't get all
good
this.
job, can you see it in the camera? Big
camera. Anyway, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You say bye on the camera.
Bye on the camera. He's very Americanized, isn't he?
Say
water. Say water.
Bye.
Say water.
Bye. Bye.
You say water.
No.
No. Say camera. You're blocking the camera.
Hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
So anyway, right, you want linen, don't you? You need a haircut. Look at this mop-a-top thing. Absolutely mop-a-top. Right, anyway, guys, catch you later. Bye. Oh, I'll be back on later.